The Tragedy of Cinema podcast is intended as a family-friendly program that by extension strives to be inclusive to all people regardless of their ethnicity, gender, creed, or any other identifying factors in this incredibly diverse world of ours. With that said, some of the films we discuss may contain serious subject matters or have content considered morally objectionable by today's standards. We do not intend to condone or dismiss these aspects of these films, but our primary focus will be on what we believe the film succeeds at, some fun facts, and our personal enjoyment factors of each film. With that said, we hope you enjoy the show.
Jimbo and Bond take flight. 80s dreams on its delight. In the realm of black and white. Movies and TV flow through the stories we all know. Silver screen tales unfold in the magic they bestow. The tragedy of cinema, when memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most.
Through the ages, the powers of good and evil have been at work amongst us. Through the passages of time, many have attempted to probe and distinguish between myth and fact. What is innocence? What is purity? What is corruption?
Look, ugly one-horned mule.
What is evil? We still search for the answer. The confrontation between the forces has captured the imaginations of civilization's greatest philosophers, poets, and writers.
Judge her with your heart, not your eyes.
Now, through the cameras of one of the most innovative filmmakers of our generation, comes a motion picture to fire the spirit, to excite the senses, to captivate the eye. I am darkness. Ridley Scott's Legend.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tragedy of Cinema podcast. I'm your host, Jimbo, and I'm joined once again by my co-host.
We be barbecue. This is Bond in Texas.
Right out the gate, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. You got to be barbecue at the beginning of this one.
Well, tonight we decided to go down the old fantasy adventure to a movie from, I think, 1985, right? I mean, I was a whopping 8 years old.
Oh, man. I was being rejected by girls by 1985.
You think you were getting AARP in the mail.
Yeah, I think my social security number was 3.
So we haven't done a fantasy movie like this in a while. So I said, hey, let's, this is my suggestion, so it's my fault. I said, hey, Bond, how about Legend, starring Tom Cruise? I mean, it's a Tom Cruise movie. Got Tim Curry in it. I mean, what could go wrong?
Directed by the legendary Ridley Scott.
Right. Sounds like a perfect setup for a great movie, don't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what could go wrong.
Until it does? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, man. We are talking about Legend, 1985 dark fantasy adventure film directed by Ridley Scott. Now, Ridley Scott, legendary director. I have it here where I think he's the 8th largest grossing director of all time. He was, of course, doing movies like Alien and all of its sequels, Prometheus, Alien Covenant. He did the movie Blade Runner, right? Gladiator and its 2024 sequel, Gladiator 2. He did Robin Hood in 2010.
Did he do Pitch Black
Hawk
and all
Down.
them?
Yeah, he did Black Hawk Down. He did all of those. The Martian in 2015. He even was nominated for a Best Director for Thelma and Louise.
All right,
He
Bob.
was actually nominated for Best Director 3 times.
So, if you got the top 5 directors in your opinion, who are they?
You have to go Spielberg and Ron Howard are my two.
I was going to say Ron Howard, definitely.
Alfred Hitchcock has to be up there. So that would probably be my top 3.
What
I
about
like Woody Allen?
Martin
sometimes.
Scorsese?
Martin Scorsese, yeah, of course. Who's the guy who did
What about Lucas?
Ben-Hur? Oh, George Lucas. Maybe. I mean, because George Lucas has one franchise, you know what I'm saying?
But the money that it's made is probably number 2, right?
Oh,
I
of
think what
course.
we
Yeah,
said.
the money it's made is ridiculous. You could argue Peter Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro is really heading up the ladder quick, especially with that Frankenstein release he did last
Oh,
year.
that was great.
So he's definitely heading up the list quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And
There's
so, yeah,
there's
some
several
great
more,
directors,
man. I mean, if you're going all the way back to like the Wizard of Oz and stuff,
Yep.
Gone with the Wind, you can go with a whole bunch of different routes with this.
Yeah.
So,
What about what's his name? Capra.
yeah, Francis Ford Capra
Yeah. There's Capra. There's Francis Ford Coppola.
or Coppola? That's
There's,
what I'm thinking.
Oh, I had
Yeah.
another
George
one too that was like
Cukor or whatever his name was. He was one of the Wizard of Oz directors. I mean,
yeah.
all kinds of people.
Yep. Exactly. Like I said, Peter Jackson might be a big one for the Lord of the Rings trilogies and all those. So yeah, there's a lot of big name directors that have really made an impact, I think. This one was directed by Ridley Scott, written by William Hjornsberg, produced by Aaron Michelin, and it is starring Tom Cruise. Did you ever see any Tom Cruise movies?
Just a few. I mean, later, I liked him when he was younger, but once the Mission Impossible 3-ish started coming out, and then it went to like 7.5, whatever it is now. Do you have, what's your top 3 favorite Tom Cruise movies?
Man, that is really hard because I am not a Tom Cruise fan. I know he's one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. You might argue he's one of the top 10 biggest actors in the history of Hollywood.
I would have to put Top Gun up there, I think.
Yeah, let me go through a couple of them. Let's see if you could pick some. Mission Impossible movies you mentioned, Top Gun. You got to start with Risky Business, Rain Man, Born on the 4th of July, just to name a few.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
I think one that's very, very good and often overlooked, and that's Minority Report.
Minority Report's good. He was in Eyes Wide Shut.
What was that one? Was it Edge of Tomorrow, where he had to keep living the same day over and over? That girl would kill him every time.
I think there's going to be a sequel to that one too, so that's pretty cool. I would have to say my favorite,
The Last Samurai, Eyes Wide
Tom Cruise
Shut.
movie is probably Rain Man.
Yeah,
Rain Man's good.
Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun's okay. You know what I'm saying?
The Maverick was good. Yeah.
Here's what I struggle with when it comes to Tom Cruise. In my opinion, Tom Cruise plays the same exact person in every single movie he's in. He is the best bartender in Cocktail. He's the best race car driver in Days of Thunder. He's the best pilot in Top Gun. In every movie he's in, he plays the best.
I'm not letting you get rid of me, Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. I'm the best sports country. And then, of course, what's the one that just slipped my mind? A Few Good Men.
Oh, that was a great movie.
So A Few Good Men might be my favorite one with
just
him in
because, but I think it was more the supporting cast there too. Jack Nicholson.
Well,
and
yeah,
all them, so.
there was 4 or 5 people in that movie that were awesome. But he plays his role very well, and Tom Cruise plays his role very well in A Few Good Men. What about you, man? What are your top ones?
I'd have to say Top Gun is probably number 1. The first Mission Impossible was good. That came out in 1996, I do believe, because I think we went to go see that the night I graduated high school. I think all of us went down to the mall downtown and watched that on my graduation night.
Nice.
I'm trying to think. Is there what kind of comedies has it been in? Can you think of any?
I mean, you can argue Rain Man's a comedy at times.
Yeah, but it's more like a dramedy, right?
Yeah. Risky Business is a comedy.
Yeah. Probably Minority Report. I really, really like that movie. That's
Minority
a really good
Report's
movie.
really good science fiction.
Days
movie.
of Thunder is pretty good too. So
Okay.
that's where I fall.
Yeah, like I said, he doesn't fall very high on my list, but I'm not going to, disrespect his talent and disrespect the people that like him because he's a great actor. He's not my cup of tea. We also have Mia Sara as Lily, the princess. She was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mm-hmm.
She plays Ferris Bueller's sister. And she's also in the movie Tin Cup.
It was a good movie.
What about the legendary Tim Curry as Darkness? Tim Curry just turned 80 years old this year.
Wow. And he had that stroke in what year?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, he had that stroke. And I mean, he's still got his same sense of humor and everything.
Yeah, he was good. He was really, really good in this movie. He was, of course, will always be known for the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him in Clue.
That's one of my favorites with him.
He is the original Pennywise.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Muppet Treasure Island. I love Muppet Treasure
And
Island.
he was also in, was it Home Alone as the hotel clerk, remember?
Yes, he's the hotel clerk in Home Alone. But just legendary actor. There's something about his tone, his quality, the way he delivers his line. His laugh in this movie is great.
Yeah.
But he plays Darkness, and I think by far he's the best character in this one. We have David Bennett as Honeythorn Gump. Honeythorn Gump is the elf. Okay. I did some research on this one. Ooh. This is not his most painful movie to watch.
Who? Honey Gump?
Yeah, David Bennett. This is not Gump's worst movie or most painful movie to watch. He was actually in a movie called Tin Drum that got a lot of controversy because he was 11 years old and had a sex scene with an adult. I've never seen it. I don't want to see it. I'm just saying.
Join us for Patreon when Bond covers
Tin Drum. So I thought
what year did that come out? Did you? What year was that?
I'm not sure, man, but I didn't dig deep into that one, sir.
Well, I'm just saying, nowadays there's a lot of rules and regulations and stuff like that. But if it was in the 60s,
that's
70s,
true. If it was in like the 70s or something, then you're like, hey, they were a little bit more lax, maybe.
Yeah.
But I was like, whoa, that's deep. We have Alice Payton as Blix, the leader of the Darkness Goblins. She was in the movie Heavy Metal and also Amityville Part 2. Now, here's somebody who you lost through the makeup. Because the makeup was so good in this movie, no one probably recognized Billy Barty as Screwball. If you saw a movie with a little person in it in the last 5 decades, odds are you saw Billy Barty.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He was in Willow, UHF, Foul Play. He was in Master of the Universe.
Was he the dwarf in that?
He was.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was his name? I can't think of his name right now.
Offhand, I don't know. Okay. His first movie came out in 1930. It was called Soup to Nuts, which was the original movie that started the Three Stooges.
Oh, wow. I was going to say the Marx Brothers, but yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. That's why I had to click on it and check it out. Soup to Nuts is the origin of the Three Stooges that becomes the Three Stooges. He was in that movie in 1930. This movie came out in 85.
How old was he during this movie?
I don't know, but that was 55 years ago. And of course, he was in another movie called Under the Rainbow.
We got to cover that one soon.
Get used to that name, that movie. We also have Cork Herbert as Brown Tom. He's the one that's like in charge of watching the unicorns, watching over the unicorns, making sure they don't get hurt. He was in the movie Under the Rainbow. We have Peter O'Farrell as Pox. He was in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. We have Kieran Shaw as Blunder, who was in the movie Candle Shoe. I think that's a Disney movie, Candle Shoe, right? But he's really known for his stunt work. So he did a lot of stunt work for Superman 1 and 2, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi, Hobbit, Titanic. Pretty much if they had to have like a child do a stunt or do something risky, He was the like the child stunt man. He would come in and do the stunt for the children. And he was also an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. So yeah, Kieran Shaw did a lot of stuff like that. Finally, we have Robert Picardo as Meg Mucklebones, right? Which is like the gross monster organ kind of thing. Robert Picardo was the doctor on Star Trek Voyager.
Yes.
And he's also the coach on The Wonder Years. He has a very, very small role. His very first role was in the movie The Howling.
Yep.
And if you look closely, he is the garbage man in the movie The Burbs.
Yep.
So when they're taking out the garbage, he goes, "You're going to take it out because you are a garbage man." They are talking to Robert Picardo. He was also in Gremlins 2. And get this. You ever see that movie Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Okay. Robert Picardo is the voice of the Johnny Cab. So when he gets into the Johnny Cab, thank you for taking Johnny Cab.
Yeah.
That's Robert Picardo's voice. He was the voice of Johnny Cab. I thought that was really cool. And there's a little fairy, a little light that turns into a girl with like really frizzy hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Annabelle Layton as Una, the fairy. She was in another movie called Werewolves of the Third Reich.
You know, I think I've seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
About werewolves in the Third Reich?
Yeah, and the Nazis. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hate to tell you this, man, but this movie was not a big box office hit. You know what I'm saying? I thought it would be. It sounds like it would be, but it was not. This movie was made for $25 million back in 1985, which translates to about $76 million today. It only did $23 million. So translates to about 72. Yeah, it lost money at the box office. So,
you know that
this movie's never been a hit.
No, that's the first movie in a long time we've covered that's lost money like that. I'm trying to think of another one that it's not coming to mind right now.
No, we might cover a couple of movies during our summer of sequels that lost money.
Oh yeah, I know one probably for sure.
I know which one you're thinking about. But this one right here should not have lost money, but it did. No. So, in a few sentences, man, what is this movie about?
Pond, I couldn't tell you. Okay, so do you have the text from the scroll at the beginning?
No, I don't. I tried to look for it, but I couldn't find it.
Oh, it basically says there is light and there is darkness.
There's no light without the darkness.
Right. And then there's Jack, right? And his friend, what's her name in this? Lily?
Lila, Lily.
Lily. Yeah. And like, they're like best friends or whatever.
I don't know. Boyfriend, girlfriend.
It was really, you know what I got from this? It was kind of like Adam and Eve from the Bible is what I took from it.
Yeah.
It was really weird at the beginning because.
And I'll stress this over and over again. The cinematography in this movie, visually, this movie is amazing.
The special effects in this movie is fantastic. The makeup alone.
Did
it win any awards?
The price. Oh, man, I'm glad you mentioned that because it did. It was actually nominated for an Academy Award for Best Makeup.
Yeah.
Right? It was actually won a few awards over the course of time, but the makeup was nominated for an Academy Award for sure. There was a science fiction award or two that it was nominated for, but it didn't really win anything. Some special effects, some cinematography awards, a BAFTA award or two, but the Academy Award nomination for Best Makeup. It didn't win, but it was nominated.
So back to the movie. So Jack and Lily, and who's the lady that she like rips the clothesline down from? Is it just somebody in the? I didn't
just a
think
lady.
really.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. If somebody she stays with, somebody she visits, but in this world, unicorns are very, very rare, and they basically won't do any harm to anyone that's good of heart. Is that right?
Yeah, they represent all of goodness,
right.
I think.
Well, when you have light, you also have darkness. And I thought that was a pretty cool scene at the beginning with Tim Curry's eyes are like neon green or whatever, and his fingernails and all that. And he sends like 3 goblins to basically go get the unicorn horn so darkness can come back out and prevail. And then once we kill the unicorn, it will be darkness forever. They're basically trying to kill the light.
Yeah. It's actually a pretty good plan because I think there's like 2 unicorns left. Mm-hmm. And both of these unicorns hang out together. Mm-hmm. So if you can get their horns, you'll rule in darkness forever. Mm-hmm. So it's a good plan.
So, this is so stupid because she's like, he's like, well, you want me to marry you? And she's like, whoever finds this ring will marry me. And she throws it off a cliff into like the deepest depths of the ocean or water. And Jack just jumps overboard, right? Goes right swimming for it. And I'm like,
I would have been like, good luck to him.
Right. Well, while they're doing this, the goblins shoot like a dart into like one of the unicorns and they take off running, and basically it downs the unicorn, and they go over there and they saw the horn off of one of the unicorns.
Yeah, and Jack says, hey, do you want to see a unicorn? Come on, let's go. So he takes Lily to like watch the unicorns play. And what does she do? She goes over there to try to pet one. And Jack's like, no, don't go over there. Don't touch it. You're not allowed to touch the unicorns. They're sacred. They're magical. She doesn't listen. So while the unicorn's being distracted.
Does any girlfriend or wife ever listen to their husband? No. We would save them so much trouble. I would have been gone
the second she took her ring and threw it
I'd be like,
over the cliff.
I'd go get it yourself. Marry yourself. I ain't jumping in there. I mean, dude, he dove off the top of that cliff. I was like, so they cut off the horn, and what's the lead goblin man? He did really well in this movie. I liked him a lot. But they end up, he's like waving around. He's got like powers now where he's like shooting in the flames and all that, right?
Yeah, I think that might be Blix.
Yeah.
Right? Is that Blix that that steals the horn and tries to take over?
Yeah, but what happens when they're in that cave and Tim Curry comes and the one guy picks it up? Is it the one with like the armor on his face, right? Looks like a furnace.
He wears like a can of armor on his face.
Yeah. And he comes,
that's Blunder. His name is Blunder.
Yeah, he goes, oh, he stole it, my lord. He throws him down. That skeleton comes up and he drags him down the hole.
Oh, yeah. He's imprisoned for trying to take over the darkness.
Yeah. So basically Tim Curry gets the horn. Well, the darkness gets the horn. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't stop there because the what's his name or her name? I guess it's a he. The fairy, not Una, the other one.
Oh, the other fairy.
The one that's the elf. The one that's like the elf, and he's basically leading him. He's like, hey, you gotta go get the horn back. Yeah, Gum. He's like, hey, you gotta go get the horn back. And so Lily thinks it's her fault that this happened to the unicorn, so she has to make it right. And she sets off to go. It gets weird here.
Yeah,
because it goes like wintertime and
Lily gets kidnapped. Well, the second that the horn is cut off, winter comes. Mm-hmm. And when winter comes, Jack is under the water looking for a ring.
And it freezes over the top.
So he's got to like break through the ice. And when he gets up, of course, the unicorn is in the snow. You know what I'm saying? I think by that time, Lily's been kidnapped, maybe.
Yeah, because she goes back to the house, remember, running from the goblins or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they bring that net out and they catch her.
Yeah. She overhears their plan. Like she's like hiding out in this house and overhears their plan to take over. And it's because of Innocence they were able to capture the unicorn's horn. And she goes, Innocence, that's me. And so she feels guilty. So she's taken prisoner, and Gump, the elf, is like, hey, Jack, you have to help us. You have to be the hero. Let's go get the horn back and save your girlfriend. So that's the plan. They're going to go get the horn and the girlfriend. The girlfriend's captured by Tim Curry darkness. So
can we just talk for a minute about when, was it Una that gives him his armor? Or was it Gump that gives him that armor?
Can't remember.
I remember he
think it
goes
might
into
be.
like that little cave or something, don't he? And it's in there.
Yeah,
I remember it's sitting there, and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty cool. There's a nice sword. Remember, he picks up that sword.
Yeah, he picks up the sword and everything.
But dude, that armor was terrible. It was like a slip that was like gold. And do you know what it was made from? I found this in the trivia. Flattened bottle caps.
$25 million budget.
And
that was all in root beer.
How many Cokes did they have to drink of the bottles of Coke to flatten those things?
Exactly. The wardrobe department's
dude,
in the background
that
drinking
right
sodas.
there, man. I was like, come on, man. Give this guy, he's going against darkness, and you got him out here in a slip.
The dude's a 10-foot red, 5-foot black horned demon monster devil. And you're like, drink more soda pop. I need a shield.
But I'll give it to Tom Cruise because he did all that with like nothing on his legs. You know what I mean? All the stunts and everything when he's fighting and all that, and you see him like tumbling around. I was like, man, that's pretty good.
Very good.
So, Bond, what happens? I mean, what's the climax of this movie?
Well, there's a very weird, long, drawn-out scene where Lily is watching her wedding dress dance around.
You know what? I thought that was one of the best parts of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, like the black dress.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like some sort of like ghost dancing around doing this dance, and then she kind of looks at it, and then they start dancing together, and then it kind of just forms into one. Where
Next
she's
thing you
in
know,
the
she's
dress.
wearing the black wedding dress.
I thought that was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was pretty cool.
I think it was 6 minutes of my life I can't get back. That scene was so long. Now, we're going to go later and talk about how long this movie was and how much they had to cut to get it down to 89 minutes. But this is a scene they could have cut 4 minutes out of. I mean, I don't mind the way she got the dress, but why did I have to watch the entire Dancing with the Stars routine? Oh my gosh. So she's got this wedding dress on, and I love it because Darkness has like dinner with her. And it's like, so Tim Curry has this like dinner with her. He wants to marry her, and she's just sitting there. And I love any scene with Tim Curry in it. Any scene with Darkness in it to me was great.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, Jack and his friends are imprisoned. They have to get out of prison. And the way they do that is Jack ruins Una's secret. See, everybody just think Una's like this little bitty fairy light, but in reality, she can get big. And at one time she says, Jack, promise me you won't tell anybody else I can get big.
Yeah.
But when they're all imprisoned, Jack's like, well, Una can help us.
They're like, how's she going to lift a key?
Yeah, how's she going to lift the key? And then she pops up and goes, thanks a lot, Jack. You just ruined the secret. But I won't have a problem with it if you give me a kiss.
Yeah. So he kisses her on the cheek, remember?
Yeah. And she's like, you call that a kiss? That was hilarious, dude. And so it was funny. They do end up escaping from their prison, which is good.
And then they get this plan that they're going to, they're like found these, I don't know, how many plates is that? I mean, they were like giant plates or that were mirrors.
They're like
or,
silver. Yeah, they're like platters, like serving plates.
Platters, that's what I was trying to get out.
Yeah.
And
they huge platters.
They think that if they set up all these to reflect off of one to another, to another, to another, to another, they can use it to defeat darkness. Pretty good plan, I thought.
It's kind of like the way the ancient Egyptians used to light up the pyramids and light up their homes, is they would use like the sunlight from outside and use angled mirrors to light up different parts inside their homes. It was a good plan. That's what the plan is. So Jack and his buddies, they are watching and trying to save the unicorn. But at the same time, Lily tells Tim Curry, Darkness, that I'll tell you what, I will be your bride if you let me kill the unicorn, the last remaining unicorn, and release all of darkness. And of course, he loves this idea. He's all, oh yes, you'll be nice and evil for me. So this brings everybody, all of the stars of the movie, into one room together. there's the unicorn all chained up, and hiding in the side is Jack and his buddies. And they're like, they have their arrows, bows and arrows ready to go, waiting to see what will happen.
Well, because they're
At the
like, you
same
got to
time-
kill her, Jack. You got to kill her.
Yeah, because Lily has a sword and she's about to kill the last remaining unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so now Jack has this choice to make. Do I let her play this out, or do I shoot Lily?
Because he's like,
Kill her
I
and
believe
stop.
her. She still has good in her or whatever. They're like, kill her, Jack. Kill her. Darkness will prevail if not.
Yeah, Gump's like, if you don't do it, I will. He goes, no, I trust her. And sure enough, she chops the chain holding the unicorn, and the unicorn takes off running. And then there's a battle between Jack and Darkness, between him and Tim Curry, which was a pretty good little scene.
It was a pretty good little fight.
Yeah.
And so but in the meantime, they have to get one of these. There was an opening at the top where they need to get this last platter to hit Dawn, to hit the light to make it all work.
Right.
And this little bitty guy is like, I'll go, because he has to climb up this rope. Well, he gets up there, and when Una's like, what's taking so long? So she goes up there and she finds him like laying on the ground. What happened to him?
I don't know. I don't think he's strong enough to lift the
it?
platter or something.
Well, how'd he
He's
get
too
it up
small.
there?
Who knows how they got it up there? But they are able to line up all the plates just right at dawn to shoot the light through the cavern, the dungeon, wherever Darkness lives. And it hits Tim Curry, Darkness, square in the chest and in the face. It lights him all up. And of course, he can't handle it. But here's something I don't get. At the same time, Gump shoots him with an arrow.
Yeah.
So Gump shoots him with an arrow, like
A couple
like
of
shoots him with
times,
an
don't
arrow.
he? He's got him sticking out of his neck.
Yeah, he's got one in his neck. And Tom Cruise, Jack, takes the unicorn horn and stabs him in the gullet. So now he's been stabbed with the unicorn horn, stabbed in the neck with arrows, and shot with light from the sun. Right? And I'm like, why did they even have to shoot him in the neck? I thought it was just the light. Is it just the light? I thought the unicorn horn through the body, being pure light and innocence and everything all good, would have had more of effect than just a basic dagger in the chest.
Well, I think, does the light, I don't want to say imprison him, but does it make him weaker maybe?
Maybe because Lily is able to cut off his hand and he falls into the void. Right? And that's how they defeat the darkness. They're able to chop off his hand.
That wasn't Lily. That was, wasn't that Tom Cruise?
Is that Jack?
I think so. He
Okay.
takes his sword and cuts.
Oh, with the sword. Okay. So Jack cuts off and severs Darkness's hands. He goes into like this void star system, which is weird. And then they have to go put the horn back on the unicorn.
What'd you think of that?
It's a perfect fit. When they go in, there's the unicorn. They take the horn and they just put it up against the broken part and it sticks and the horse is okay now.
I never knew unicorn horns were magnetic.
I know, but this one, they just stick it on there and everything's back to normal. The sun comes up. It's springtime again in this fantasy world. And then Jack and Lily, well, Jack dives down to get the ring, right? Puts it on her finger, and they literally walk into the sunset, waving to their friends as they go, bye, bye, unicorn friends, bye, Gump. And they wave and they go off, right?
But that wasn't the last thing you saw.
Oh, it depends on where you live, sir.
Well,
Because if you live in America, you see one last scene. You see Tim Curry, the darkness, laughing.
I wondered if they planned a sequel
Darkness is
for this,
always
but the
around.
way it bombed at the box office, they probably said we can't afford to.
They left an opening there, but that's only in the American version. The reason I said that is because in the UK, that doesn't happen. They walk off into the sunset together and wave and go bye, and that's it. It's a happy ending. In the American ending, they add the darkness at the end.
Well, then.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So what's the problem with this movie? Why do we sound like we like it, but We really don't like it that much.
Well, let's go through the trivia before we dive into some of this. Maybe it'll sway your mind or opinion on something, Bond. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So filming was actually interrupted twice. Firstly, by the studio burning to the ground. And secondly, by the death of Tom Cruise's father. But here's where you gain a lot of respect for Tim Curry, because he had to wear a large bull-like structure atop his head with 3-foot fiberglass horns supported by a harness underneath the makeup. The horns strained the back of Curry's neck because they extended forward and not straight up. Rob Bottin and his crew finally came up with horns that were hollow and lightweight. At the end of each filming day, Curry spent an hour in a bath in order to liquefy the soluble spirit gum that served as the adhesive for his makeup. At one point, he got too impatient and claustrophobic that he pulled the makeup off too quickly, tearing off his own skin in the process. Can you imagine?
Oh, man, what a process. I also heard that it took 5.5 hours to put his makeup on each day.
And I don't think it was just him. I think it was the goblins and all that too.
Everyone had great makeup.
Yeah. The director Ridley Scott felt both horrified and sorry for Curry and immediately tried to find an easier way to make up his character. Since he didn't want Curry to put more makeup on his torn skin, he shot around him for a week. Scott also realized that it added a dramatic build-up for the character, so he reshot some of his opening scenes this way. The footage of Curry in the opening to the U.S. theatrical release was filmed before any of this took place. So, Tom Cruise, well, he reportedly wasn't very happy with this film. In a Rolling Stone interview from 1986, he called his performance, quote, "another color in Ridley Scott painting," and declared, "I'll never want to do another picture like that again."
I can see how, looking back, he might not like it, but he didn't like it right after he made it. Like the next year.
Probably like, because he wasn't getting any extra money because it was a hit.
Probably.
So the scene in which Jack takes Princess Lily to see the unicorns was filmed within the gardens of Pinewood Studios. At the time of filming, the vast forest set had been destroyed by a fire. The information was stated by Ridley Scott on the director's commentary on the Ultimate Edition DVD. Pinewood Studios was built on the grounds of Heatherden Hall, a historic stately home seen in many Pinewood films. So the gardens were long established and suitable for the dense greenery required for the movie Legend. Bond, do you know what the sound of unicorns at play is? It's actually...
That sounds like a terrible build-up to something.
It's actually a recording of Humpback Wells.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know what you were going to say. I was afraid to ask.
Right in the blow.
I thought for sure you're going to say, you know what the sound of unicorns playing is?
For scenes filmed in the forest, every line was dubbed in post-production as the noise on the set was so loud. So, man, is it really worth it? I don't know.
Well, that's crazy.
The face of Goblin Blix was designed after that of Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones.
That's sad. That's already sad.
Oh, man.
Now I have to go back and look it up.
Tim Curry's performance as Darkness was ranked by Entertainment Weekly as the best performance in a bad movie.
Oh, I might have to agree. He was great in this movie.
Yeah, it was. When Jack dives off the rock in the forest like an idiot, it is Ridley Scott's daughter Jordan who is playing Princess Lily and a stuntman playing Jack. This was done to make the rock look larger than what it was. The close-ups of Mia Sara were added during post-production. Jennifer Connelly was originally considered and offered the role of Princess Lily, but it was decided that she not take the part. It was at Connelly's suggestion that Mia Sara be considered for the role, giving Sarah her big screen debut. Of course, Connelly would be cast in her own big fantasy epic the very next year, Labyrinth, in 1986. In his commentary on the director's cut, Ridley Scott states that the glasses on the table covered with jewels and treasures as a gift to Princess Lillian Darkness' throne room are still in his possession today.
Nice.
For years, it was falsely rumored that this was a source of inspiration for the Legend of Zelda games. I can see that, but it was falsely
the big pile
reported.
of treasure, the sword, those kind of things.
Ridley Scott admits that comments made by some pot-smoking attendees at a screening got him second-guessing himself and influenced him to cut this movie from 2 hours and 30 minutes to 1 hour and 38 minutes. I kind of wonder what that other stuff he shot, because it might have made the movie better.
Well, they have a director's cut version with a totally different ending. You know?
But I don't know if a totally different ending is enough to save the movie.
No, because the ending has Jack and Lily splitting up.
Oh, yeah, he walks away.
It'll never work. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, it'll never work. And then she goes home, and then he goes home and like waves goodbye to the camera.
So with the exception of Tom Cruise and Mia, all the principal actors and actresses spent several hours every morning having extensive makeup applied. Between 8 and 12 prosthetic pieces were applied individually to each face, then made up, molded, and grafted onto the actor's or actress's face so that the prosthetic moved with their muscles. Each person needed 3 makeup artists working on him or her for an average time of 3.5 hours spent applying prosthetics. I don't know if I could sit in a chair that long to do that. Could you?
No way, man. I mean, if the money was right, of course, but no, it would be so hard. Here's what I was thinking when you were saying that, though. You know how resentful I would be of Tom Cruise if I had to get to the studio 4 hours before he did, sit in a chair and have all this stuff applied to me to cover up my face. And then he shows up 10 minutes before they say action.
Well, he's got to get his makeup on.
Go. Okay, an hour, 30 minutes
makeup,
before?
He's probably just a little blush and he's good to go.
Little powder puff. So that would really upset me, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why you're not in the movies, Bond.
I guess so, because I would be like, you got to be kidding me. He just got here. I've been here since 3 a.m. and he just got here.
And what happens if they messed up on your makeup and they had to start over? Can you imagine?
Yep.
At one point, Ridley Scott considered none other than Mickey Rooney to play one of the major characters, but he did not look small enough next to Tom Cruise. Would you have liked to see Mickey Rooney in this movie?
I would have liked to see them get a taller actor so they could have gotten Mickey Rooney in this movie.
According to Ridley Scott's commentary, Tim Curry as Darkness had to wear 18-inch iron frame lifts. Curry stands at 5'9", which means with the lifts, Darkness stands at 7'3".
That's awesome. He looked huge in this movie.
Yeah, he did. At the time prior to filming, Tom Cruise was disinclined to cut his hair. He had a wild hairdo in this one, didn't he?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
When cast for the part, his long locks were the perfect look for the forest-dwelling Jack. It is the longest length of Tom's natural hair captured in a movie.
I can see that.
That's his real hair. I mean, he may have wore a wig for some other ones.
He looked good. Yeah, he looked good in that movie.
When it came time to assemble the full director's cut, the original session masters for the Jerry Goldsmith score could not be located. However, Mike Ross Trevor of Hit Factory Studios in London had kept a 2-track digital copy mixed down from 8-track session masters, which he knew, quote, would be worth preserving. Most of these tapes contain complete takes, which had to be re-edited from scratch to match the cues in the recut print. Can you imagine losing all that? That'd be terrible.
Until they get to the song at the end, the Legend song, which I'm assuming was the song by Tangerine Dream. There's like a Legend song that they start singing. I'm like, oh my gosh, just when you thought this movie couldn't put you to sleep anymore.
The icicles in the treasure cave were made out of several 100 pounds of paraffin wax.
Nice.
All right, here's 3 people I found that were considered for the role of Jack. Are you ready? Yes or no? Here we go. Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Robert Downey Jr.
Also pretty good, I think.
Jim Carrey.
No. Oh. I'm not saying Jim Carrey couldn't be in this movie.
Well, it's been a younger Jim Carrey. You know what I mean?
Okay, like in Living Color, Jim Carrey?
Well, no, probably that Once Bitten movie, right? That vampire movie.
Oh, yeah, the vampire movie Once Bitten. No.
Still a no, huh?
Yeah. I think he could have been in the movie as another character, You could even
He could have
put
been a
him
goblin,
as
dude.
Gump.
Yeah.
I think him as Gump would have been great, but not as the lead romantic role.
Darkness's realm seems to contain statues of Pazuzu, most notably known in modern film for being the evil spirit that possesses Reagan McNeil in The Exorcist, in 1973. The Adam and Eve and Dante's Inferno are inspirations behind the movie's story. Jack sets off into the dark underworld to save Lily from darkness after Lily touches a unicorn, which is forbidden. So I can see that.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise went from making this film with director Ridley Scott to next working with Ridley's brother Tony Scott in Top Gun in 1986.
Wow. That's pretty neat.
All right, Bond, you're on the clock.
Uh-oh.
Give it to me. Give me your thoughts, feelings, ratings, and reviews.
This
and
movie should have worked. Yeah, this movie should have worked. We've gone over it over and over again. In fact, if you've never seen this movie before, you would think that you and I were pretty excited about this movie, that it's a pretty good movie. Here's the problem I have with it. It's so slow. There's literally scenes that are 5 to 10 minutes long where no one talks. No one says a word. It's just music. And it's like Enya music. It's just slow, you know. And exactly. And so the whole movie, although only 89 minutes long, feels a lot longer than that because of these long, drawn out, no dialogue scenes. Visually, this movie is amazing. Like you're saying, like the Adam and Eve Eden scenes at the beginning, beautiful. The scenes with the unicorns are beautiful. The scenes that are supposed to be dark and scary look dark and scary. Tim Curry's makeup, everyone's makeup in this one's just, wow, they're great. I couldn't recognize half of the actors that were playing the roles because of their makeup. And I really think that hurt Tim Curry because I know what he looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He was visually stunning in this movie. And still I was like, yeah, but he doesn't look like himself. But he had the eyes, the red, the horns, the teeth. He was great. I never got into the romance part of this. Like you said, I couldn't connect with, are they friends? Are they lovers?
It was almost like they were like best friends, but then
yeah, she wants to marry him.
Then they start kissing and I'm like, huh.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like you take a visually stunning movie and you say, how can we make it really boring? Not only that, but as I was watching this, I was thinking, who is this movie for? In 1985, if you went to the movie theater, who was your target audience? Because if it was boys, you missed the mark. If it was girls, you missed the mark. If it was younger people, you missed the mark. So I'm not really sure who your audience was for this movie. What age? Is it for boys? Is it for girls, men, women, couple? I don't know. It doesn't fit into any like niche. There are certain movies I don't like, but I'm not supposed to like those movies. They're not made for me. I get that. But I don't know who would like this movie. It should have worked. It didn't work, Jimbo. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bond's giving a 5-foot long horn off Tim Curry's head, I guess.
Yeah, because I watched it. I tried to watch it twice. Okay, I take it back. I watched it once, fell asleep in the first 20 minutes. I watched it twice. Today, I watched like a fast version of it where I was like, yeah, that's the dance scene. And I fast forward a little bit. It was a little bit better this like 2.5, 3 times through. But if I went to the movie theater, I wouldn't go to the movie theater 3 times to see this to see if I liked it. I give it a 5 out of 10, man. My prop piece, I want that helmet that one guy wears.
Oh,
it looks like a tin can with the spikes.
It looks like a furnace, right? Like the
He's got like a furnace on his head. I think I'll take that as my prop piece for this one, man.
All right.
What do you got?
I really, really wanted to like this movie a lot. It's Tim Curry's performance is outstanding. I mean, but the like you said, the whole love story, I don't know, man. And then she throws the ring off the top, and I'm like, okay, so the only other guy in the entire world, right, that we know of. Yeah. Well, I think her dad's there, or that one guy's in there at the cabin later on, but that we know because they said Jack and they said her at the beginning, and she throws it off the top of the I mean, come on.
Who is she expecting to get this thing?
I don't know. But I liked the dancing with the dress scene. I thought that was really well acted out. Even Tom Cruise's action scenes, they were pretty good. I mean, when he busts through the ice and comes gasping for air, that was a great scene. His fight scene with Darkness was great. I think for me, I like the supporting cast better. And I say that, but I mean like the goblins. I could not stand that elf guy or girl, whatever she was.
Which one, Gump or Una?
Gump or Una. I didn't like either one of them. It was just like they looked like really weird to me. I don't know. But I mean, there was some comical stuff in this. Them three goblins at the beginning or whatever it was, hilarious. And then my favorite scenes probably were what's the leader of the goblins when he's got the unicorn horn and he's like making the flames go higher and higher. Then he shoots the one guy in the butt and he has to go jump and dive in the water, sets his butt on there. To me, I wish I could see like the 2.5 hour version because hopefully it fleshed out the story a little bit more all throughout and not just change an ending. Because I think there might be something that we're missing that would make this a cohesive film, make it flesh it out a little bit instead of cutting it back to where, yeah, you still have a cohesive story, but it's not as deep as people would probably want it, like I would want it to be. With that said, just because of the special effects and the makeup artistry in this, I think I'm going to have to give it a 6.5 okay. To be fair. I didn't really care for the soundtrack either. It was kind of weird. If you say if I say Bond, if I say Bond, what was your favorite thing about Legend? What are you going to say? You're obviously going to say Tim Curry.
Tim Curry's makeup, right. His performance, every scene
looked.
with him in it is great.
Right. That's every time I mention Legend, that's what comes to my mind with the big old horns, right? It's not Tom Cruise. It's not the goblins. It's not the fairies. It's not the unicorns. It's Tim Curry.
I mentioned the fact that I was watching this movie to a couple friends of mine this week, and they actually mentioned Tim Curry more than they mentioned Tom Cruise.
Right.
And they couldn't tell me what this movie was about. They just knew, oh, that's that one with Tim Curry as the devil.
Because you've seen him on like the front of the box, the VHS and all that.
Sure.
Now my prop piece, I'm going to go with the clock. The clock at the beginning that would have like was he a lumberjack? I don't know. And somebody behind him coming, right?
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
It was like the angel of death kind of chasing after a lumberjack.
Yeah, or something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to take that so I can tell what time it is.
That's a good one.
So there you have it. That is Legend. I know some people think this is a really good movie, and that's fine. I have an opinion. You have an opinion. Bond has an opinion. And sometimes Bond is wrong. Pretty much all the time, but
rarely, very rarely.
So, if you want us to cover a movie, please send in your request at thetragedyofcinema@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook at The Tragedy of Cinema. Is a podcast group, I think.
Yeah.
And hey, if you want to leave us a review, Bond will read it on the air. He likes to read stuff, especially, true. Say how weird he is. Yeah. So summer of sequels fast approaching. I can't wait. But we got a few more movies to go before then. And next week's going to be pretty funny. We're going to be doing what, Bond?
Next week, we do the classic movie Night Shift.
Night Shift, starring Henry Winkler, Michael Keaton.
Directed by Ron Howard. I think it might be his second movie he ever directed.
Yeah, or maybe his first.
It's early stuff, man.
Yeah.
I did, we're talking, I did get a request. Somebody sent me a message when I told him that we were going to be doing Night Shift and we're going to be doing this movie here. She wants us to cover either Warriors, which I think you've already covered, right?
Nope.
Warriors, the classic movie Warriors. She said anything with Richard Pryor, John Candy, or Gene Wilder.
We've covered a couple of those.
Yeah. And she also would like to see us do the movie Funny Farm with Chevy
Chase? Yeah, we can do that.
So
and tell her she has to come on and be a special guest.
All right, I'll tell her name's Sylvia, and I will tell her that she needs to come out on this show and cover Funny Farm with us.
We'll let her pick which one she wants to do, as long as we haven't covered it. Gene Wilder is my favorite, Sylvia.
And as long as it's not Tin Drum.
Or Little Drummer Boys. But I think this episode's coming to a close, and that's a wrap.
And cut.
Tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. The tragedy of cinema, where memories shimmer. Join us as we toast to the tales we love the most. Those we love the most. The tragedy of cinema.